Hi everyone, it's Morgan from For the Love of Paper, and I'm here with another A4 layout process video. I am using my August Scrapping Fun kits, which is a music themed kit this month. And I am scrapping a photo of Roman. He's sleeping in that photo, and it was just a precious little photo that I had taken one day when he was sound asleep, and I've made it black and white because it had, like, the sheets were blue and the blanket was black and white and he was wearing yellow and it was just too many colors. So I changed the photo to black and white and then started layering up the bits and pieces from the kit that I wanted to use on this layout. Now, when I initially started this layout, I tried to do a background of stars, and I had filmed it, and I tried at least three different things to make this starry background, and all three times it was just a giant fail. So this was actually my fourth attempt at making this layout. I deleted all the other ones because this video would have gone on for like an hour and a half otherwise, because I just couldn't get it to go how I wanted it to go. So yeah, this is take 4 of the layout that I made. So first up, I got this wood veneer piece, and this was the piece that I wanted to use for this layout. This was going to be like my focal piece. I got out some of my paints because I initially wanted to do the blue color because I wanted the background to be blue as well. In the end, I do not go with that, but it's all trial and error. As I said, I did many attempts at this layout. So I was just testing it on the back, the different colors. So I did the silver, the blue, and then I mixed them together to make sort of a gray blue color to start with. And then I end up quite liking that gray blue. So I paint that all over the chipboard piece. And that was kind of my first step in getting this how I want it. And you'll see by the end of the video, it doesn't look anything like this at all. But, it's trial and error, and sometimes you get it right, and sometimes it's just a great big fail. And yeah, so I just used my finger and smushed it all over the chipboard. I was going to get my paintbrush out, but my fingers were already dirty, and I don't know, I kind of get a better coverage with my fingers than I do with a paintbrush. And like with the paintbrush, sometimes it like gets into the grooves and you can't get the paint out, whereas your fingers, you can just sort of rub it and smush it around. So that's how I did that, and then I put that aside to dry and started working on the main background. So as I said, I had done about 3 other backgrounds before this one, and then I remembered that I had this piece of paper. Now this is a giant, I think it was considered wrapping paper from Kaiser Craft. It came in A3 sheet. Oh, they might have been bigger than A3, like 2 A3 sheets. I can't remember the size of it, but I had, when the store near me was closing down, I'd picked up a whole bunch of different sheets, and this one had all these little yellow stars all over it. I was like, if I can't make my background, I'm just going to use this bit of paper. So I chopped it down to a bit bigger than A4 size and stuck it onto some cardstock. Because it's only thin paper, I needed something a little bit thicker as the background. So stuck it onto some cardstock and then just trimmed around it to make sure it was exactly the right size, because it would have really sucked if it was too small. Yeah, as you can see, it does overlap a little bit, and I just trim those edges off. And that works so much better than the backgrounds I tried to do. I tried to do stencils, I tried to do reverse stenciling, I had some little star shapes. I tried to stick them over the page and then sort of sponge paint around that, and just nothing worked. And I should have kept all the fails and done a photo at the end, but I was getting so annoyed with it that I threw them all out. Anyway, back to this layout that is complete. I used this paper. It's got the blue dots on one side, and then the other side is music paper. And I wanted to test that one, and that one didn't work. So this one was the one I used, and I ended up cutting that down and just using half of it. And then I was trying to find something to mat my photo on, as I felt like it needed to come off the page a little bit, a little bit more dimension. And so what have I got? Oh, yellow. Yeah, because all the stars were they were yellow and gold and like a deep bronzy color, kind of like maybe like a burnt orange, but a bit more yellowy. It was kind of it was hard to have, so not a strange color, but a hard to describe color, and it's a bit hard to tell on the video the color of those stars. So I was trying to go with that theme. I switched away from the blue a little bit and was going with the yellows and golds instead. So that's why I didn't end up using the spotted side of that paper. And also I think the spots with the stripes on the bed just didn't quite match, didn't flow together nicely. And then getting this piece on there, and I knew that's the layout I wanted to have. I kind of had that vision in my head already, is that's how I wanted to set it out. And then I decided that I didn't want it to be blue anymore because why not? Since we were now going with the gold yellow theme, I'm going to paint this gold. And I've had this, Inca Gold sitting in my drawer. I've had it for forever and forget about it, don't use it. And the one time I actually do go to use it and it's all dried out. Like, it was as hard as a rock. So I was tipping water on it to sort of bring it back to life so I could use it. I did end up throwing it away because it was annoying me. I'm going to buy some more though, because it's really, really awesome stuff. If it's not been sitting in your drawer for 4 years. Yeah, it probably is about 4 years. That's ridiculous. So there you go. Inca Gold does not last opened for 4 years. So first of all, I was trying to see which colours would work over the blue, and the gold did work, but the blue still came through quite a bit. So I decided I would paint over the blue, and instead of just doing white, I mixed a little bit of yellow, like a teeny tiny little bit of yellow, in with some white paint. And this is just Heavy Body Acrylic. It's Liquitex brand, and I just smushed that all over the blue. And then once that was dry, I added the Inca Gold on top. Now I can't remember if I cut that bit out of the video or not. Sorry, I edited this a while ago and then I'm only just getting back to doing the voiceover on it. So I should have watched it over again before I did it. Never mind. So leave that to dry for a bit and then come back in with the gold. Well, maybe I don't leave it dry. Just adding some water out of my drink bottle because I think I was a bit lazy and couldn't be bothered going to get more. Oh yeah, so I sort of just blended it into the paint a little bit. It did work okay, surprisingly. And it is very similar to the colours of the stars on the layout as well. So just smooshing that around everywhere. And I'm sorry if you can hear the kids in the background. It's lunchtime at the school, so the kids are all out playing and Roman is sleeping, so I am making the most of the opportunity of him not being here and trying to get a couple of voiceovers done before he gets up. So it was one of two noises that was going to happen today, the kids or the baby. But they're quite quiet out there. They're not too noisy today, so hopefully it's not coming across. And yeah, so this layout, I think, well, theoretically, this layout took me like nearly 2 hours. It was about an hour 45 from start to finish of this layout. That is the honest truth of how long it took. But if I take out all my fails, I think it took about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. Just waiting for things to dry really was the main delay. So as you can see, there was a cut there because I was probably waiting for the other 2 layers of paint to dry on there. And then just mounting my photo onto another 6x6 piece of paper. I don't know where this one came from. It could even have been a scrap from something else. And I've been doing my mats really small lately. So they're only ever a few millimeters. And I see other people when they do really big ones, like they're like a whole centimeter or more. And I try it and my photo always seems to like swim. It looks like it's way too small for the border or the photo mat. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong or if other people are just better at doing it than me. But the photos always just seem too small and the photo mats look too big. So I'm sticking with these little teeny tiny ones that I'm doing of late. So I don't know what I do wrong. Maybe I'll just have to try more often. Maybe I'm just not used to it. So I have to do it more. So getting out some of the other embellishments from the kit. I've got one of the flare badges. And then I did want to put that flower on there, but the black was just too dark for the rest of the layout because everything's kind of a bit light. Like even the photo, even though it's black and white, it's kind of more grayscale than black. Sorry, excuse me. He's just had to sniff there. What was I saying? Oh, the flower. Yeah, I really wanted that on there, but it was just too dark and too stark against the rest of the other colours on the layout. But I do use those little, what are they? The little silver metal flowers instead. And this is a pretty simple layout. Like there's not too much to it really. It just took a while to actually finally get there. Yeah, you wouldn't think it took me nearly 2 hours to make this very simple little layout. And so yeah, I just stuck that piece of paper underneath there off to the side, stuck it all down, and then getting these music notes to sit nicely. And then the flare badge, I tried to tuck the flare badge under. Does it stay under there? No, I don't think it does. I wanted it to be tucked under that layer, but it didn't quite. Oh, did I jam? Oh, I do jam it under there. I didn't think I had. And when this is here, you can see all my mistakes on the back there, the blue and the silver and everything. I think I made a few more attempts on there than I realized. Oh well, the scrapbooking fails. I'm sure we've all got them. If you've got any scrapbooking fails, you can leave me a comment below and tell me what your biggest fail is, or the longest time it's taken you to create a layout because of fails. I think this is probably my all-time longest layout, other than maybe one that I've started like on a Monday and not finished for like 3 more months. That if you count that whole time, that's probably my longest. But other than that, I think this is probably the winner. So I decided to go with one of these little white roses. I'm sure I put that. Yeah, I do. One of these instead, because it just sort of it's not quite as quite of a stark contrast as the black one. And I wanted to get this washi on because it's so beautiful and it's the same colours. I don't think I leave it there though. Or maybe I do. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. No, I didn't. Maybe I just fiddled around with it and then in my mind I thought I'd taken it off completely. because the yellow of that washi matches the yellow that I've painted on the chipboard as well. And I don't think there's much more to this layout. Added some alphas. These are just some Kaiser Craft alphas. They came in a 12 by 12 sheet. I think there was white, black and red across the top, and then there was like words or phrases or something else on the bottom half of the sheet. So I've just chopped them up. When they were closing down, I got them for $1 a 12 by 12 sheet. Like, I couldn't say no to that. I think I ended up getting 3 sheets of them. And then my title is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, because that's pretty much the only nursery rhyme I can ever remember at 2 o'clock in the morning when my babies don't sleep. I remember singing it to Sam, and I sang the same thing to Roman, because I don't know why, but it's the only thing that ever comes into my head at that hour of the morning. So I thought that was quite appropriate for him. Not that it was a nighttime photo, but I know the meaning behind it, and I suppose that's all that matters. And just a little line border around the outside of the page, and I call this layout done. So I will leave a link to Scrapping Fun kits in the description box below, so go check them out, and don't forget to subscribe. I will catch you next time. Bye.